Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of I Am Legion for Dying Light 1 and 2. My name is Jason, the creator, and today's a pretty special day for me. So this is actually the 1 year anniversary of the mod. I thought it was going to be tomorrow, but I actually went back and looked. So it was originally released on the 6th of February back in 2022. It's been a crazy year. So I got started way back trying to understand what I could get done all the way back from Dying Light 1 days. And the more I looked into it, the more I started to find. And the more I started to find, the more I started to realize, oh, hang on, I can actually get a lot done for this mod. And so thank you guys so much for all of you who have been subscribers. I just moved myself over. So I've got some new branding. I've got some new things starting up. I got a lot of exciting stuff coming forward for the mod. And I wanted to get online and kind of share with you as I'm going tonight. So I've got a lot of things that I'm going to be crawling through, and then I'm going to be doing some videos here later. So please stay tuned. 1.3 is dropping tonight. So everything, I'm like moving as fast as I can to get through all the different updates. But we got everything from new engineers, we've got, or PK engineers, we've got the actual shield bearers are now inside the game. We have Rise's men have returned as the wolves. And so they're inside the game. We have a new faction called the World Burners, who are a lot of fun. They're very difficult, very dangerous. And so continuing to balance, I've switched to where I'm trying to balance and fix all the bugs as I go. And so it's kind of a mixed bag of trying to do like 5 things at once. So I'm going to just kind of stream out tonight. I won't be taking a lot of questions. I'll just be kind of trying to get 1.3 out the door. Thank you guys so much if you're joining. If you're going to watch, I hope all this makes sense. I'm going to try to talk while I'm going through it and try to explain what I'm working on and why I'm working on it. And I will try to field some questions from the YouTube stream. So if you're on there, feel free to ask questions and I'll try to answer them. But I am going to try to do this head down thing, try to get 1.3, not try, I will be releasing 1.3 tonight. So, the more focused I stay, the better to get these bugs out. So looking forward to getting this update out. I know a lot of you have experienced some bugs and crashes since 1.9 released. And so this latest update, I was able to get about, I guess overall about 8 saves from the Discord community, and I had been testing nonstop trying to find all the little bugs and iron things out. And so hopefully when you guys play this version, it will be the best one you've played yet. I'm super excited about getting this out into the world because I'm guessing with the 2.0 release coming up, things are about to get a lot more interesting for Dying Light 2. And I'm guessing that having this mod as far along as it has been is going to be really exciting when they release this new content, these new worlds coming up. I'm guessing are going to be pretty fun with I Am Legion Reborn. So thank you guys again so much for the support. I truly appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to this release of 1.3 tonight. Please stay tuned if you're looking forward to the update, and I'll let you guys know as we go here. So let's go ahead and close this down. Let me make sure I can see the chat. I think a couple of people. Hey, Verdi. Hey, Baby Tika, thanks for joining. Hey, what's happening? Well, it's anniversary night, so we're coding still, and we're trying to get this done, and 1.3 is getting ready to drop, and so it's going to be a good evening. So going to crawl through some code and have a little fun while we go. So let me go ahead and share out on the Discord. Oh, I've still got my rolling notes. I've got this next update is going to be a pretty big one. I've got quite a few things. I got a rolling change log that's been going for a while here, and I hope you guys are excited for some new content. I hate that these events have kind of slowed me down a little bit, but hopefully I'll figure out a way to stop that here in the future. Let's see. Make sure everybody is subscribed here, and let's go ahead and drop this notification. So how have you guys been? I know how Verdi is. Verdi and I pretty much talk daily. Baby Tika, how have you been? Thank you so much for joining the Patreon and supporting the mod. How are things going on your side tonight? actually move that video back. I don't actually like it over in at one side, but I did notice that there's this new little icon that I've added, so that's going to end up being right over top of me, but I'm going to just move that back over there for now. Let's see. And let's see, for this, we're going to go in here and say anniversary stream. There we go. And let's go ahead and get started. So what I've been working on these last 2 days, so essentially the world burners are now installed into the world. I've been balancing them. They're intense. They're probably the most deadly enemy in the world right now. And so they've been a lot of fun to balance. I think the big thing about them is that I've been trying to figure out the best way to really make them. I was trying to give them the flamethrower, and the code is just not there for using any type of weaponry. And I don't know if they have something disabled on the back end, but I haven't been able. So this is true of the crossbow and all weapons. I haven't ever been able to get the enemies to actually use those weapons. And so I'm probably just missing something. I'll probably stumble onto it here soon, but for now it's still eluding me. So that's still not going to work for now. So instead of giving them flamethrowers, they currently have the Renegade Spit, and then they also have the fuel grenades and the gas grenades. Actually, I think they're only using the fuel grenades for now. I'm going to make a boss variant that I'm also trying to add as an encounter. One of the big boys that he's going to have gas bombs, and I'm excited about him. But then also, as I mentioned, Rise's men are actually back in the world. So now that Rise's men are back in the world, I'm also balancing them out. So they are actually pretty intense as well. They'll chase you pretty much good ways across the map, and their parkour skills are on point. And so I'm still looking into how to balance them out to kind of explain, you know, what their skill sets are if they're down on the ground, like how they're able to cut their way through the city. Now that the PK, that I've done a lot of balancing there, they're actually able to cut through the city really well. And so I'm continuing to look at other human AI groups to determine, are they on the rooftops? Are they on the ground? If they're on the ground, what are they doing that's keeping them alive? Because basically you just end up with guys getting overwhelmed over and over again. It's not very interesting. So still trying to balance them out, but for now, they're going to be parkour masters as well. They're going to be climbing. They're going to be chasing you across the city, and I'll continue to balance and refine as we go. Verdi asked the question on YouTube if my aspect ratio on my monitor is 16:10. Yes, correct. It is. Makes for certain games being interesting because some games don't support ultra widescreen. I know in particular the one that drove me crazy was Dead by Daylight, which I really enjoyed that game, but I couldn't actually play it as much because they made it to where it didn't really support widescreen, which was a shame. So let's see, I'm going to end up having to reduce some of the PK numbers because the spawners are just not able to keep up with what I'm trying to throw at it now. It's trying to spawn way too many of these guys. I'm going to have to go into the code and kind of clean up some of these spawns, but I am going through. And so basically the Peacekeepers now have a new mission as they enter the world, which is they're clearing the streets and they're also taking back the world. So the engineers are actually going through and setting up better lights and different things throughout the world. And I'm actually, while I'm here and I'm thinking about it, I'm right here. I'm gonna go ahead and do it. I was thinking about it the other day. Won't be hard to do, so let's just go ahead and do it. I'm gonna go ahead and make another tier of engineer, and the higher tier engineer, won't have the visuals for him just yet, but essentially the tier 2 engineer can go off the other engineer, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to give him different weapon set. And that weapon set is going to have a better lamp. So at higher tiers, you have a higher probability of getting the better engineers. The better engineers have the better tier lamps. And we'll call this tier 2. Just like that. And then that way when we're doing this work on the spawn tables, the higher level peacekeepers will actually spawn better engineers as well. So let's go ahead and reduce some of this down. And I've actually been having more fun going in here and adding more shield bearers now. So the frame drops, Verdi, that everybody's been getting, I mean, I've been talking to people for a little bit about it, and I really do think that it's some bug that they've released with this latest update. And to be honest, I have not investigated it too much just because I've been working a lot of hours trying to get this update out. And so I have not had a chance to really go in there and investigate as much as I would have liked. Just because I've been trying to make sure that you guys get this on this date. So I still have a lot of work to do, but I've been kind of pushing super hard trying to make sure I get this update out into the world. So I'm going to actually leave that. And then for the engineers, we're going to drop that down. Because I think some of the spawns are getting messed up with some of these, they're having like limited spawns here. So the wolves, the world burners, and then the last thing I was trying to do is go in and actually, so I'll have to set up some of the Patreon content. There's going to be new Patreon content dropping with 1.3 as well. And a lot of that's going to just be cleanup and optimizations, but it should help with some of the gameplay in the world. All right, so let's go ahead and start adding these. And I think I'm actually just going to go ahead and blanket, say, of wolves and world burners. And then let's go ahead and make my little world burner boss. Again, moving super fast this evening. That's a bug waiting to happen. Verdi, I'm not going to be able to watch everything you're asking there. I'm going to try to keep it on point tonight, just because like I said, I've got a lot I'm trying to crawl through here. Kind of need to keep head down. Sorry about that. I'll get back with you next time. Just got a lot that I'm trying to get out at this moment. So then on the weapon set, I gotta reset some of my tabs here. I've got way too many at this point. Boss. No, you're fine. You don't have to keep silent. I'm just saying, like, you're mentioning other things like brutes and other things, so I'm just letting you know, like, that it changes my mindset where I'm thinking about that instead. So I'm just trying to keep my head in the game here. Let's see. The boss is gonna take on, let's go to here, and the boss is gonna use the Renegade two-hand. And let's give him two-handed weapons as well, because that'll be closer to the fire axe kind of thing. Sadly, I'm still not able to do firefighters, but this is pretty close. Not quite there, but he'll have weapons skill 7. And then he will get the throwable full firebomb, which maybe I'll just give him more health, because that thing does a lot of damage. So I'm looking forward to you guys seeing what this does, because it's pretty good. So then also with the, here we'll go to difficulties, say boss. Nope, it's going to be a quest. The world. I'm going to give him this enemy indicator as well, which actually maybe we'll do on both of these guys, because they are a little bit like bosses. And then let's see. So this one's going to be under, what I'm looking for is that there's specific code that plays when you have a boss nearby, which I think they're going to be in here. Oh, okay, I think it is the enemy indicators here. I thought it was health. I thought it was health indicators, but no, I got that wrong. Okay. And then these guys are also, they kind of need their own conflict side. I was noticing earlier that the PK had been messed up, so next I'm about to take on that PK bug that has been in there for a minute, to try to figure out what's going on with that. But let me finish out this. Finish out this little boss in here first. So we'll give him 2 lackeys. He'll have 2 lackeys and then himself, which means lots of fire. Lots and lots of fire. And then for him, he'll also have, let's say, health, and let's give him higher health because he's a boss. We won't give him a boss level health because I think that's kind of dumb. And then for the custom loot, he is going to drop the World Burner flamethrower. So if you see this guy inside the world, he's going to carry the legendary World Burner. And so that will be how you get the legendary tier flamethrower. Like it. World Burner. Let's go in here and say false. World Burner Kit. Boss. So you get like 250 fuel, a fuel bomb, and then you also get the World Burner. Get rid of cash, then give a loot amount. 3, 3. Like that. And then he will have this on his person, so we gotta add that. So then the World Burner Boss has custom loot. And he will actually have the perception profile of the Plague Bearer. I'm going to take that off of the World Burner. And I've also limited their view, which I'm pretty proud of. I've limited their view because they have their gas masks or whatever. So these guys, once they lock on, they get super aggressive, but they have narrow field of vision. And that will come in handy because these guys hurt. Okay, so then let's do the boss. Let's go to here. Let's say prefabs. Those. Okay. And let me make sure I'm getting backups of everything here. All right, let's go ahead and launch and see how this goes. Let's see, PK were limited. Next, I gotta find this PK bug. The bug is really weird. I wasted like 30 minutes the other day trying to narrow down on it. And so I'm gonna have to get like, I'm gonna have to start tearing out code until I find what's causing it. I did that before for all the behavior code. So pretty much they lost all their conflict matrices, they lost their behavior code, they lost everything. And it was still happening, but only around the metro. So everywhere else in the city, they had no problem. They were able to move around, no issue. But then at the metro, for some reason, they turn on the player. So I'm still having to figure out what the hell's happening there. So let's go ahead and looks like, so I keep using this trusty save game, and this is one of the save games before that I literally like ran through the world and broke all my weapons and then it automatically saved. So this one save has no weapons every time I go back to it. And this is the one I use for testing, so I keep setting back to it. But it's, you know, it's always funny because you find these guys out in the world, and most of the time it's these guys that turn on you. And so I've really started to just like play around here to try to see what does it, and it's so bizarre. It's like you'll be fine, and enemy bandits will usually spot you. It's like enemy bandits will spot you, and if enemy bandits spot you, then it automatically turns you as enemy against everyone else.
How many notches you got on your belt, Pilgrim?
So is this my shield bearer? Because
I'll drink you under the table.
Let me breathe!
So I think he is one of the shield bearers, but for some reason, when they get spawned out here, they're not getting their shields. Because I was currently using my spawner to kind of test them. So I bet these will be the guys that get angry at me.
Does it hurt?
Leave me alone.
No. Nothing yet. We keep hoping that it'll be like a true bug that is in there that I'll do something else and it will
Holy shit.
fix it. But every single time that this has happened, wow, they hurt each other all the way over there.
What's outside these walls don't matter,
good.
Pilgrim. Peacekeepers.
So pretty much each time it's happened, it's been a bandit group has seen me, and then once the bandits see me, then the PK see me. But their way their conflict matrix is set up, it shouldn't do that. I also thought it could be potentially a global variable where I've set up the targeting system that potentially like a zombie was seeing me and setting me as an enemy, and then they were somehow getting that target. Since kind of ruled that out. Well, so far I was able to pretty much run and do a full loop and nobody got upset. That's a first.
I'm telling you, it's the valve train.
I checked the fucking valve train already.
Let's do one more loop really quick and then I'm going to switch over to spawning enemies. I have to go grab weapons first so I can actually fight the boss and then see how his health is.
I'm the last bandit you'll catch. My friends will come after you.
But I have also been looking at this spawn system in here, and it's very interesting. Did it do it?
You're going down.
So the survivor saw me first.
Quit dancing
Okay.
around.
And then from here, everybody will see me. Yeah. Still bizarre. So it was actually the survivor that saw me that time. So maybe I'm going to stop looking so hard at the PK and focus a little bit more on the survivors and the bandits, because potentially it's them that are actually causing this. Because everything in the PK code, it doesn't make sense.
I don't believe the commander was killed.
Alright, let's grab some weapons. And then we'll grab the World Burner kit too, even though it definitely won't work against the new guys. fuel. And we're gonna grab the base building kit so that I can make sure I have a stash on me at all times. Okay. Hey, IFOS. I don't know how to. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly there, but welcome to the stream. 3 in the morning, man. What you doing up so late? All right. So let's grab the world burner. And let's see if we can find the shield bearers. I guess if they all hate me, that's still something. No, that's a two-handed. But, yeah, two-handed and 2 soldiers. Oh, a commander, actually. So the commanders can call reinforcements. So anytime you see a commander or PK commander around, he can actually bring in more PK, so it doesn't hurt to kind of keep an eye out.
You're that pilgrim, aren't you?
Damn, Verdi.
True what command says?
You guys are up late. Yeah, see, this is the group that always usually sets them off. So these bandits right here will usually see me. And then for some reason after these dukes see me, everybody else gets mad too. Let's see. Let's try this new Christmas barbel they gave me here. So I felt like the first day that I tried the physics that I really enjoyed that they had the hit reactions, but I do think I want to look a little bit more, especially for physics are back, into the animation that they play, because I know that I just kind of see the animation a lot more now. But it is so much better than it was. I'm fooling around, I think, hey, Black My Through. So I liked it outside of all the breaks and crashes that happened. The updates, any updates to the game are always preferred. I don't mind when they update the game and add new content. So I guess he didn't get the visual. So that's interesting that he showed up like that because I didn't add the visuals. Damn. And then also, yeah. So these need to be boss. He could be boss renegade. Oh wow. So the names are also something I have to try to get access to. Let's see. I'm actually going to pull it off of the world burners and we'll just keep it. So the fun thing about the world burners class that I'm super excited about is that they are not susceptible to fire and they put out nothing but fire, and so they will actually light everything on fire, and then they can run through it. So they'll actually just light this entire street up. So my aim for them is to kind of, if you see them inside the world, is that you avoid these guys unless you are a high enough level that you can even kind of hope to fight them, because now the flamethrower does knock them down, so I need to probably update this to where it can't do that, but it won't damage them. So the hope here is that so right now this is getting, there's like 8 of them, and so you normally wouldn't see this many in any given area. So this is a little much, but essentially with 3 of them, you can guarantee that they will also do just as much damage. But yeah, the gang leader thing's going away, but they will continue to light the whole world up. And pretty much, I think the fun part is that when I get the flamethrowers working with them, I'm really excited to see them going through the city and just burning their way through it. So I did leave the system to where they will spit fire, so they're doing their renegade spitfire, and so it will be kind of like they're using their flamethrowers, so you'll get kind of a little bit of taste of what that will look like. But yeah, they're definitely, they'll look a lot cooler when they actually have their flamethrowers as well. But currently it's set to where the damn. It's pretty much when his cronies show up that you have to get the timing right, because they're going to start doing that. But look at that. So if you're high enough health, you can kind of take them all down really quick if you have. But also, once you have a bow and arrow, it'll be a little bit easier to actually take these guys out. So it's interesting. His visuals are not set correctly, but as far as the that was good. So his visuals aren't set correctly, but he should actually be attacking. So I may have to daisy chain some of his stuff through the world burner so that he's getting his proper config and everything, because I don't think he's actually set up correctly. But as you can see, each one of these guys, so I need to set the ammo correctly, but each one of these guys has the potential to drop flamethrowers and fuel and all that good stuff. So these guys will be the best way to find the flamethrowers here in the future. But let's see if he actually gives the world burner. Freaking love that. So he dropped his weapon. Is that because I broke his arm? That looked broken. So I got him. Yeah, okay. So it gave fuel and it gave the world burner. Sweet. So yeah, for some reason it looks like my shield bearers are not getting their blades for whatever reason here. I say blades and shields. So I need to like bearers show up. Probably two-hand maces maybe my favorite thing in the game so far. Alright, so let's take a look here. So we're going to update the boss, just got the visuals. So the boss has the visuals now, and then I think I'm going to actually just set him to boss, and then he's going to go through World Burner instead of the other way around. And then as far as grenaders who get two-handed weapons, I don't think that'll work. So in the interest of continuing to move fast here, let's switch him back to one-handed weapons just for now. we'll give him a one-handed weapon, and then also we'll keep him on the firebomb. He wasn't really using it, so. And then his health was okay. I mean, I was using a legendary weapon against him, so I think maybe let's go over to scripts, health definitions. See how much health he's getting. Boss. Let's give him a little bit more health. Put him actually in boss tier there, so that way he's able to stick around a little bit longer than that. Especially if you have those heavy weapons, because kind of the idea here is that if you are a low tier, you actually run away, and if you are a higher tier, you can actually take him out. But I don't want to make that too easy because the reward is that flamethrower. So let's see. And then for these guys in their world burner kits, let's find out why it only gave one fuel, because that's not right. This should be anywhere from, let's do 25 to 125, and then here that needs to be flipped. For the flamethrower fuel, let's drop that, or let's put that up as well. Okay, so that should update our boss. The PK had no weapons. My shield bearers had no weapons for some reason. So let's go check that out next. Clearly something that I've done there, so let's first switch them back to that and make sure that works, and we'll do another test run. So there's that, then there is the enemies getting upset when they see you bug. Let's check the conflict matrix and then look at, I've been looking at the PK, but if we go here to survivor, let's actually switch survivor and players to friend. For now, may need to start setting all these guys to auto. Counter player, is that right? Counter player is friend. Yeah, so they have all of these set to auto as well. When I zeroed this out and set everything back to default, it still didn't work. But potentially what I can do here is go through and set everything back to auto, and we'll just see what that does. Bandit, player, auto. Okay, So quite a few different changes there. Let's go test and make sure that I didn't break anything. Kind of move kind of slow here, moving fast but also moving slow. So we'll be testing if the shields are working again on the PK. That'll indicate if I messed up something. Then the conflict, we'll see if that is better balanced now. Then the world burner boss should be properly visualized, should actually throw grenades, all that good stuff. And then for the better have saved. And then for the loot, we set up a couple of different settings for the fuel. Okay. Sure, yep. And then I liked an idea that I heard earlier where I think it was Aphos was saying give them modded weapons that had flame on them. I really like that idea. I think that might be a little bit more challenging because I will only have to either give them an entire new set of weapons that have all been modified, or I will have to give them one specific weapon. And to be honest, they're eventually about to get flamethrowers if I can figure out the code. And so their weapons should actually go back to flamethrowers. I love this. So it's been a while since I'd heard this little narrative the other day. And I was watching, and so they basically have these guys stuck in an animation state, and so because of that the enemy can't see them, and they're just like, it's like a soap opera going on in the middle of his hands are the wrong skin. That sucks. And they got like stuck in their dialogue. Alright, well I'm going to leave them alone because I actually want to make sure that I'm not an enemy of these guys anymore. So let's go try to find some more. Still got to fix that guy with the pants. Okay, he's fixing a car.
We have excellent craftmasters in the Metro HQ. You're looking to upgrade your weapons.
So Otto may have actually fixed it. Said this last time though, and then they got upset at me, so let's do a couple of laps. There it goes.
Hope you got your affairs in order.
Strange. It also seems like the encounters are the ones causing it too, rather than the ones out in the world. It seems like the ones that are getting spawned in at the encounters are for some reason getting set to hostile.
Sweet weapon you got there, Eden. Is
So
it new?
everybody knows me by name. So PK reinforcements haven't showed up yet. Run around a little bit more.
Got you now, asshole!
actually be a good thing if I can find. If a commander is out here, he'll actually summon the reinforcements and I can find out if the shields are working. So the conflict matrix is still screwed up, even though it's not the conflicts matrix that's doing it. Conflict matrix.
You can't scare me. Think I can fight?
Attack, man! Attack!
Can't escape the peacekeepers. Suck on this. You're in trouble now. Ready for this?
No engineers yet.
Here you go.
I'm gonna have to look because I attempted to make the bowmen up on the walls actually better the other day, but I think I actually somehow broke them because they're no longer shooting down.
I'm telling you, it's the time.
But I already checked that.
Did you?
All right, well, there we go. And there's our shields.
Now,
All right.
asshole.
Sweet. And now that we have a good group here, ooh, they just one-shot one of them.
Scared yet? You should be. Time to end this. Don't do it.
Stop. So which one's the boss? I guess that's kind of the problem. Someone was just refusing to die down there. Like he's the boss. Maybe I'm wrong though. There we go. Reinforcements.
Over here, got one.
All right, so we have the shields. The world burners. Oh, we must be beneath the actual. So this must go underneath the actual area we were just at. They're still setting the world on fire. I wish they actually. I knew there was a quest door, but I guess I can't. Another door out here. So I need to try to kill them really quick and check the loot from them. No, you guys come with me. Yeah, so that starting point is like there. It's interesting. Gotta get in close. So which one is it? So yeah. Made short work of that posse. Just had to get in there. Alright, so 2 fire bombs. Still 1 fuel. 1 fuel. So it must be like, where it's grabbing the fuel kit wrong.
I miss hamburgers.
96. It's still wrong though. Now I got 2 fuel burners, or I got 2 world burners on that one. At least that's what it said, but it's only showing 1. Interesting. So the engineers are definitely out and working. So are the shield bearers. I need to pull out, I had some experimental code where I was trying to make them go find UV light, but I think the problem is that if you watch their behavior, I think they're sensing the UV light during the day. I still think the code is weird for UV light, and so I think during the day they're actually sensing UV light like everywhere essentially.
This is bullshit.
Brook is on, he's not running away. I guess I still need to look into that code to figure out why their arm update. Maybe it's the UV for that as well. So the conflicts matrix didn't fix the issue. And for the item sets for default under world burner, we're actually going to go here and say go in here and say something like 3, 2 for them, and then for the boss, let's drop that down to like 3. Let's do 4. And then for the health, I think that's good. I think mostly it's just where I'm using like legendary tier weapons. If you have legendary tier weapons, then you're going to be able to wipe these guys off pretty quickly. Alright, Verdi, thanks for hanging out. I saw your GN on there, but I didn't know if you were still on. Thanks for coming and hanging out. Hope you have a good night. Good luck. 2.5 hours, man. Godspeed. Appreciate it. I'll talk to you tomorrow. So next we're going to go in. I'm going to remove the code that I set up for finding the UV lights. We'll just go ahead and take that off. I think technically that was only under combat though. So if anything, maybe we'll take it out of combat and actually switch it to regular update. Hey John Ho, how are you doing? Hey, of course, you should see it, man. It's coming along. We got shields running around. We got world burner bosses. We got all sorts of stuff. We're gonna have a good update. So 1.3 should be dropping here this evening. So this code here is actually what's telling them that if their arm is destroyed to run away. But I think for some reason something's happened with the last update to where panic or retreat is no longer working correctly. And so for that, I need to go look at probably say win merge and we need to go look specifically at what changed for the humans. So if we say here, get AI, behavior tree, AI, and then human, and then we'll do the same, except I'm going to do the version previous. So let's go here and say 1.83. Have a good night, John. Talk to you next time. And then, yep. So we're going to compare these two, see what's changed, and search and avoid. Let's see. Constant space, as in like this one. So they added a new param to here, but like where is this? Avoid search connections. There's no way this is, you know, screwing up anything. But that's not in there at all. I mean, I don't know if I've updated everything in this dang params in a minute. I'm gonna have to look at that. Yeah, so that one wasn't in there at all. And then they've got this death critical ragdoll chance. So I think these also didn't get added. So that could be potentially causing some issues in their code. Let's go back and say between, because I think the last time I probably updated their code was for that one file, because it's a very long file, it's very easy to mess up something there. So let's compare between these two and say constant space and say which one is our new one. So let's make sure Skullfacer attacks are in there. I think, oh man. Alright, well. Yikes. How did that get overlooked every time? How did that not show up as different every single time? Because that definitely didn't show up. That's not good. So that explains why the DLC is messed up. So let's say so maybe let's go back another and say hey Del Rio, how's it going tonight? Appreciate it. Thanks for the support. I should be dropping 1.3 here shortly, and super excited to get your guys' feedback on that one. Let's see. I guess the one I actually really need to be comparing it to is actually not any of these. It is, let's hit save here, and then it's going to actually be the mod. So I don't know why this didn't get flagged on WinMerge before, but let's go and look. So if we compare these two, and you know, as always, of course there's so many differences because I've modded every damn part of the game at this point. But look at the chunks that are missing. Dang, I don't know how that got missed. So let's go ahead and pull out these. And what we'll do is we'll go ahead and hit save and hit reload. And we'll just basically go add each one to their appropriate lines. And that's probably it, because they've added some escape lines in there. And so those escape lines are probably what's causing that issue. Allow discard of turns. Interesting. That's just not cool. But my guess is that is where the DLC came out, and that's where people have been reporting a couple of DLC things have not been working right. And I still haven't had a chance to actually go play the new DLC because I've been so busy writing the old one. I'm still not entirely sure how to do the content for the new DLC as well, because it's really bizarre. They've added a lot of the DLC content to the actual core files, but specific things are only in the mod. And so it comes to, like, you know, if I'm trying to write a mod, is it okay to release things that are already present in the base files? Because technically they're out there for everyone. But so I'm still looking into that. Okay, so with these new values, I guess the next big question is what changes about their behavior types from this? And is this any, you know, is there any way that this is causing the conflict issue? I wouldn't think so, but I think I need to switch back over to the conflict issue with the PK, just because that aggression bug is probably pretty obnoxiously obvious. And then additionally, before I release, I'm also trying to get in a GUI fix for the capitalization, because pretty much at this point everybody has reported that. And I get it, I'm not sure it's going to be an easy fix. I had an idea the other day though, so I think I have a good way to get to this. So the idea is that in their code, they are capitalizing my custom text for stats. It's not going to be the quest, it's not going to be binoculars, it's not going to be the HUD, it's going to actually be, maybe I should have gone into in-game, but let's see here. Inventory. Here it is. So they have the stats menu, and if I'm correct, you can see here that the stats themselves are capitalized. And so what I was thinking the other day is okay, if the stats are capitalized, then I may be able to take the code for how they're displaying the stat system and crawling through here, rewrite the stupid code for the menu by using the stats. But it's definitely a long shot because I'm not sure. So they have like inventory stats, and then they have type string value. Is that M? Where all does that show up? So if we say like menu, M quest log. Maybe that's it. So what I'm going to need to do is probably narrow down by the specific things that I want to search. So I want to search like the stats, and then I've been trying to find if I could locate a separate place where they are capitalized. Like if there's a menu or just somewhere in here that I just haven't noticed. I don't think with any of the inventory stuff it's actually capitalizing any of it. But potentially also the main menu. So I noticed on the banner that I made, it was working there. So maybe we can narrow that down. So first and foremost, let me go check if the AI are behaving like normal.
I got your six. Move on, soldier. See some action soon, huh, Locker?
Look, fellas, found us a pinata. Got you now. Want some of this? Take this.
Sneak attack. Alright, so let me try some things with these guys.
Incoming.
He has his shield out and up. No. Also, I guess it's where they have somehow accidentally gotten stuck as survivors. That's fun. So when he has his shield out, it did look like it worked. Oof.
Quit moving.
No. I don't think I have drop kick on this guy. Let me see. Nah.
Anyone else feel that?
fighting each other? Or?
Gonna clobber you!
Ready to dance?
Messed up my timing there. Thanks, Rob. I appreciate it. You go by Rob, Bob, Del Rio? What do you prefer? So didn't get the conflict issue. Everybody appears to be working normal. Let's separate out some of the GUI code. And first let me back this up. And then also with the UV code, I am going to add this to... So before I had it set to combat, which combat's not very good if unless they're like actively engaged. So I'm going to set it to update. And basically what this is going to do is say, go and try to find UV light in the area if you're PK. Cool. Nice to meet you, Rob. And so if they are PK, then they will get the closest UV light and they'll move towards it. And then what I need to do, which I just noticed, it doesn't have a cooldown set to it. So we need to go in here and say, let's see, I think they have cooldown under you. And basically what we're going to do here is say optional. If it is, then it will fire this. And this will be set to and then for the cooldown, we'll go ahead and say something like every 25 seconds they go seek out UV light. And let's just see what that does with them. I'm not really sure if that's going to work or not. So, and then update to small fixes for world burners. No, so I ended up losing about 75% of my save games to this last thing, but ultimately that led to a lot of trial and error learning on some of the new updates that they made, and so I think this latest version will actually contain a fix that allowed me to play with a bunch of save games that previously weren't working. It's a little late for that because I know a lot of people have already lost some of their save games due to the update, and so potentially this will at least make it compatible going forward, but it may not. I haven't had enough people test yet to know, so I guess we'll find out here soon. So it's going to be for the inventories, we need to say main menu and in-game menu. And what I'm going to do here, let's see if I can do something like, yeah, okay. So that way it'll trash all of this with all these different things. Excuse me. And so what I can actually do now is we're going to clear out everything except inventory. I don't know if this is going to work or not, but we're going to find out. And then, actually, I think that said, what did that say? Hint, invokes, item list widget. Item list slot. Because there's actually two things that I want to fix here as well. There's also the issue with the scroll bar, and so I actually need to launch the game again. So I guess I can test my little UV idea here. But there's the backpack, and the backpack has a working scrollable craft menu, while the actual craft menu doesn't have a scroll bar for whatever reason. And so I'm going to help them out and update the menu as well while I'm here. And then I don't know if they would get upset or not if I tried to figure out how to stop their legends or their legendary levels from locking. Not really sure if they would get upset about that or not. Not trying to get banned off the Nexus here. So let's go in here and say, we're going to go in here. All right, so So in here we have these two different menus, right? So we go to crafting, no scroll bar, clearly leaking over. And then if we go back to inventory and go to backpack, I guess it doesn't have enough components, but normally if you have enough components, that scrolls. And if you look here, all of these will actually scroll as well. So what I want to try to do here is actually search in here as well. So scroll. Side slots symbol. Say JSON formatter. And say scroll. So for this, this has GUIs and then a class system, extra index. So I wonder if you can actually add additional slots just by adding to the index there. And then add float. Float, get it. So then it gets the extra index. Compare. Greater than a certain value. and then it turns on the scroll bar. So basically, I should be able to, I mean, I guess the question is do they even have this on the crafting menu in general? So if we go over here, we're going to do a couple things here. Let's go over to GUI, say, let's punch this in, say GUI, crafting. So they have the crafting component frame, and then they have the item list slot. So my money's on the item list slot. So let's format it really quick. Process. Okay. So based on this, I think that's this frame. I think my ammo's getting glitched there. So this is the blueprint item. So that's probably here. And I don't know if it really has a scroll bar either, but it does have the ability to filter. So as long as I don't make too many of one type, technically you can always filter that down. If we go to menu crafting PC, that's probably the full parent here. Process. And then if we say scroll, header widget. So this has the actual crafting menu. Does this reference the item list slot? No. So it does reference the item list category header. But we won't go after this just yet because we are more concerned about the craft parts. Craft max. I guess another option is that I could try to extend these menus instead of making I mean, I want to make the scroll bar, but I guess if I'm running into a wall, I could always try to scale the icons as well. They have a sort. Oh yeah, rarity. So they have a sort as well. So even if if all else fails, you can at least always sort everything to where you could probably get to everything immediately if you needed to. I think probably the only one that people have mentioned that's super annoying, and I get it, selecting crafting component frame. and say item list. Quick select part, crafting part. Guessing it's this. Okay. And then if we say scroll, doesn't contain such things. So I think this is our actual menu here. So I think this is the craft parts. Let me see if I can actually. Yeah, most of that text is pulled in by reference, and so my guess is that I can't actually. I could probably replace some of it and find out. So we have the icons. Quick select. I wonder if you just turn on wrap. It'd be nice if such things were possible. Does anybody have wrap 1 turned on? No. You say search, find, wrap 1. So no one's got wrap turned on. Here they have a layout component. I seriously doubt. So they've got 35 by 35. That could be the icon. They have a 60 by 60. Layout component, top, center, height. That's probably more accurate. Because you have a 25 by 68 there. And then you have the full extent. So my guess is that it's probably this one is setting the size like this. So I wonder if an easy fix here would be, instead of trying to set up like a complex scroll bar or anything, is to move this menu to where this menu, I mean, you could, if you have this idea that you would have hundreds of craft parts eventually, see how much time I have, then potentially expanding this menu in general, keeping this small so that you can sort and filter. But if I move this and actually made the craft parts take up a good amount of this screen, then you could at least see everything that's craftable from this menu, because this is all dead space. I think I like it. I think, let's see, craft, button craft max, set. It's either there or it's here. It may also be here. Thanks, Del Rio. I appreciate it. Thanks for the shout out and the support, man. I really appreciate it. So I think what I'm going to do here is I think I'm going to save this one and I'm going to save this one. And then we're going to go, nothing's capitalized yet, obviously, but bear with me. This is also in HUD PC. So I'm starting to have my doubts about whether it's this one. Because this is definitely not the HUD. This is definitely an in-game menu. So let's start with menu crafting PC. I mean, that sounds about right. So we say GUI, in-game menu, menu crafting. And let's see. Let's see if, and so here's the backpack as well. So let's grab the backpack and let's grab the crafting. And I'm actually going to get rid of, let's just go ahead and, I started down this road, but you know what, let's go ahead and just clear this out really quick, because we'll at least get this one feature worked out, and then I'll go back after the capitalization. So the backpack, and we have the crafting PC. And then, let's see. This should now be, no, this is formatted. This one's not. So with backpack PC, let's go here. Okay. So we have our backpack PC, or our backpack PC. We have our backpack, and then we got our valuables, and then we got our different ones. And if anything, this one should show how it is doing the scroll bar on each one. You have, so right here, so it's got an element component. Is it really just doing them per individual one? Scroll. A dynamic field at the bottom of the components. My concern is that, because it needs a target. Oh, actually, so where is this target? So they're targeting one that, so that's probably going to be the problem with the scroll, is that it's going to, finding the UID is going to be interesting, but exactly, Del Rio, we're going to try to first go in here and just make the crafting area larger. Let's start there, and let's see if we can get something going here. So we have our tabs. It's probably going to be under parts, craft parts list. So say component width, height. So the height is probably going to be drastically larger than the width. If I want to speed things up here, which I may want to, it's getting later and I still have to get this out. I may want to go ahead and find the width of each one and break it. So I've done this before. This is the hackiest way to do it, but went on the fly here. So let's go ahead and stack those up, and then we're going to go to width, and we're going to throw on each one of these, let's just throw like a doubling factor, tripling, quadrupling, whatever, and height 40, I doubt it's that. And it's probably going to be one that we don't want to break too many things, so maybe I don't want to do both of those. Let's see here. Also, looks like I'm not editing the right one anyway. So let's see, let's close that one and say crafting, and let's say parts, and then we're going to say width, and we're only going to identify the ones that are taller than they are wide. Like that one, it's definitely wide enough. That one's wide enough. Definitely. And that's pretty small. Auto size elements. Okay. So that actually, I mean, that's just 3. So let's just go ahead and exactly trial and edit. I love that. Because all we need, if I can get this one, we're going to move on to capitalization, because that is the one that everybody has been bothered with. That one will definitely have the longevity attached to it. And then I guess while that's loading up, let's go back to the stats, because I never really searched here and said stats. Where's this? Say, I guess there's no way it's. What is it searching here? Is this the? Yeah, it's the mod. Oh, that's right, because I copied them over. Okay, let's test really quick. And let's get back to this. Ha! Got it. All right. So that was actually pretty easy. So what it's done, I guess, is it's pulling each one of these. So even though these aren't in the game yet, so these need to get pulled out. I didn't realize, because I've never been able to scroll down, I didn't actually realize that it was taking every single one of these and adding it to the list. Good to know. All right, well, that's the power of actually being able to see the stupid screen. So let's go back, and we've got 3 values. So this is always my favorite. We're going to say stash widen, and we're going to pull it back out of the stash, but we have a backup just in case. And it didn't do that, did it? Discard, widen. It's not giving me back my options. Yes, but I should have. All right. So what we'll do is we'll get rid of backpack for now because I think backpack is going to need the scroll bar. So say initial push for crafting menu. And then what we'll do is we'll do it backwards of where we'll go back to this and hit save. And it will remove the values. And then we will first, let's just start with the top one and see if that does it. And then also, while we're at it, let's go ahead and head over on here because we're going to have to pull out all of my new loot items that I thought were hidden. They are not hidden. They are showing up in the list. So craft components show up in the list whether you put them in the world or not. So, all my little jokes. The urinal cake is going to be a valuable. So I hid in the world. I've got a new crafting overhaul that I'm pretty excited about. It's going to drastically change the game here. And you can accidentally loot a urinal and receive a urinal cake. So let's go ahead and continue. So the paint buckets, I think I'm going to keep for now. I have some ideas with that, but the poisonous city plans, paper, wood chunks, tools, military, and all these I'll probably keep. Craft tools. And then storage chest, metal crate, bathroom tiles, coffee can, strainer. Okay. Okay, so I do not think that it really edited it. So let's go back and we're going to go to the next one. We'll say discard. And then, so that should give us a couple of things. So that should reduce the number of craft items. And then also possibly fix our crafting menu there. I'm probably going to win an award from starting the game, just from launches alone. I hope there's like some Steam achievement that I haven't seen in the list. It's like launch the game 1,000,000 times. Okay, so I think it's this last one. So, easy enough. If we go in here and look at our value that's remaining, it's going to be 2009. So let's go back over to here. And let's scroll down to 2009. And I don't think that's right. No, because it's one. It should be one that's remaining. Grid shadow. So oh, okay, wait. Because I went in and set each one. I think I just did the opposite to where I should have gone the other way and done one by one the other way, because one of these is still been set. So it's one of these values. There's only one of these left. The other one's like, so let's see, if we set this back, the other one is right below craft, or heart. It's this one. So I'm going to take a shot on the wild side or on the dark side here and say like that, which reduces every single one of those and then puts that at 800. So if I open this up, that should be a little bit wider. Well, 2 times as wide, actually. So let's go ahead and pop this open and hopefully just confirm. And then if I can get the capitalization, it's the capitalization and then the bug with the PK. Yep. Okay. So it's the top one, and I would say that that is pretty close, but the amount of items that I plan on adding to the game, probably not. But it is good to know exactly where that value is. So what I could do is I could change it as I go. So for now, keep it about this size. I think the only thing that's going to be a problem is this menu now blocks the components a little bit, but definitely better than nothing here. Technically, if I go back 1 bar, so if we go back to 600, I think it might be just enough. And let's try that really quick and just see. So if we do like 667, and then can even change the margin if we wanted to, and then say scale. No. Icon. Width. Actually, I'm gonna stick it there, and let's see if it appropriately scales that. If not, I'll shift a little bit. Removal of junk craft parts, updated craft menu to proper size, and then let's go through and say, let's see if we can get this capitalization issue. I think I can get it. I just need to say item list co-op slot PC. Is it the slot or is it the widget? It's not the list as much as it's there a menu inventory? There is. So what if we say if we pull that one in really quick. Let's say here. Inventory. Let's grab everything. Format. Okay. Pretty long inventory file. Let's see if they have the stat in here. Buttons, stats. We could also search by string. If we say name, how often does name show up? Outfit, app name, text value, string not empty. So here they have the idea of like an armor value. uses the inventory controller. Change get into string. Notification. It's interesting. So there's probably actually like an actual widget that there's probably a little widget that shows, so like here it says gear stats. Menu gear stats. That's promising. It's right in front of me. So much smaller. So far this has a lot of things I wouldn't expect to see, so I'm not really sure that this is it. So it's probably not a menu as much as it is probably, we say, widget. Do they have a widget? It's technically kind of like a widget. Item list widget with header. Resources list. Item list with widget, or with header. So we have a scroll, which I'm not really, maybe that's another thing I can do here, is that maybe there's item category text though. Field manual text. Set string manual text. Count, items max. Subcategory. So I think with some of these, I'm going to have to go in here and essentially just start breaking stuff with the actual menu items until I find the one that is correct. Just because this could take a long time. So what I'll do is, so I'm not launching without having something here. Let's at least break one thing. Because here's here's a vendor buy. I need to find some text. Stats was probably the best one. I shouldn't have given up on that one. Let me switch back really quick and say GUI and say stats, and then say inventory. Oof. So inventory item hint could be hint symbol. That's kind of like a hover. It's got lots of item types, including stats. That might be our culprit. Inventory item hint symbol. Let's see here. Say in-game menu PC, and let's go here and say inventory item hint symbol, and then we will translate this really quick. Fuse not released. Can even change the color potentially of some items. Interesting. How often does that show up? Okay. Potentially recolor the menu. Not sure you'd want to go through that pain and suffering, but could do it. Multi-line. Oh, that's fun. Let's do an initial. And then say. And then let's boost some stuff. We won't break it. We'll just change some things here. Name text. So where's stats? Where does that show up? So ID stats. And then here's this render child first. Stretch stats. I like to think we're doing this together, Del Rio. So they have symbols. So this is the right panel based on that. I guess the real thing comes into it here of saying, okay, so we have render child first is probably what I think it is. I mean, I could be wrong. How often does this show up? In a couple of places. So maybe I'm wrong, because if it shows up in a lot of places, then you would think. So like the name, so here's name, render child first. Item name here. Trimming size, width. It'd be sad though if it came all this way and it doesn't actually have the ability to do this, because this says render child first. I don't think that's it, because that one's there. But then also I'm noticing lots of little multi-lines, and that could have come in handy so many times. So we're going to change all these multi-lines to 1. And then let's just see if we have the right one. I mean, I could, waste all evening sitting here working on the wrong damn indicator. So I changed the text size. So the text size should be larger. And then I also said multi-line. Not sure that one's going to be as obvious for the ones that have shorter names. So, name box. Maybe up here there's like maybe this is the actual formatting up above. Because this got it correct. If I could find this, then, because this is probably going to be, if we just search store. So if we go back to GUI and we say store. Store agent. Banner. Could be that. Technically, did it show up here? It showed up here. So technically this mod banner is also correct. So let's go here. This might be a better way to do it if we start with something like this. And then say name. See if we've done anything with the other ones. So if we say opacity, switch name. So I'm guessing that's where it does the scrolling. Hard to tell. I should have made it much larger. Yeah, I don't think I did anything. But probably the biggest thing is that I need to figure out, based on the different things here, like what exactly what values I'm trying to target here. Deployable. And it's got to be like it's got to be something that's only working on name and description for some reason. So what if we go to description? Auto size. Child first is checked. Image component. Description here. Font style. Maybe it's this font style. Line spacing adjust. Text component. So what if we go from there? So in this list, the stats are right below these. So it's description and then it's stats. Where's stats? Stats. Maybe it's something as simple as they've applied a font. Maybe a specific typeface is causing the lowercase. Alright, so what I need to do here is I probably need to grab something like grab stats. Because I think the affixes do it as well. I think they're not broken, and they're right there. So then if we do description, and then let's just compare the two. So we have a description, render child is the same, height and width. Auto size is turned on. Now, under that second part, render child first is not turned on for boxed. And I wonder if it was turned on for name. So if we go back up to name, and then say boxed, it's not turned on. So this is in the mod, so let's go in here and say like that, and then under description, again, I'm not sure if this is it, but I guess it doesn't hurt to try, because under item stats, hey Rami, how's it going? Under item stats, it's not item stats. I did that wrong. It's the next area. Under there is child, and then, so they did it like this. So same as here. And then underneath that, it has a different type of eye element. It has this generator component, which is different, obviously. And then it doesn't use a font style because it's using a generator, I guess. But that could just be for the symbol, so that could not be as useful. So we got one thing. We got the render child first is in there. Formatting is correct. Got the multi-line. Under description, we'll go ahead and under description, it has, I thought it did this. Description boxed, oh, it's down here. So down here it has this text component. What if we go and search, I guess, the rest of all of everything? Hey, Papa Toast, welcome to the stream. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So if we go down here, and I guess what we're going to do is we're going to search the other ones for these iText components. And I guess under that, it's found so many that it's like bricking. What if we went in here and said font style? Maybe there's a different font style. They've got a couple of different ones. And then here's where they have the actual GUI presets. So text component is set. So they have these headers. So this is for the headers. I don't think the other one is a header. So we have like bold, medium, regular. Let's grab regular really quick and let's just throw that on there and let's see if it does anything. So we'll throw that under the description and we'll set this to like 22, so we'll do large text. And then under multi-line, where is that? Doesn't have multi-line? Where's multi-line? Multi-line. There we go. Welcome back. Text component, multi-line, font size. So it is using that. Description's not multi-line for some reason, but I know it is. Auto size. So let's just make those edits. Let's close it out. Let's drop them back in. Let's just see what happens here. Hey, Papa. Well, it kind of depends. So I was looking at those systems the other day. So I've managed to get into the foliage system. They essentially have like the concept of like a city foliage system that you can tap into. As far as a texture replacer, so I think Sneed and Small Sausage and a few other ones are the ones that are kind of leading the charge on the texture replacement. But I haven't reached out to them lately, but I was going to reach out to them because an individual wrote a method of injecting into the R packs a little while back, a couple of months ago, and apparently has stopped support for the mod. And I think that's what we were all pretty much using was the 010 editor for a long period of time. But I think seeing how they have stopped, I think it's kind of a question of whether or not we'll be able to continue to inject textures going forward. Just because for like Sneed's mod and that kind of thing, he'll have to pull. You'll have to have that solution, the injection solution for his mods to work. And so I've been meaning to reach out to him to see if they've updated, if they've somehow updated that mod. But that is the current best way to do it, is to so that doesn't look like it's done anything. No. Oh man. Well, the other option I could try is that I noticed some started doing ampersand M. So for shits and giggles, God knows if this, if this works, then I don't have to do anything. So under name, which everybody can bear witness, is capitalized. What if we do ampersand M, and I think we have to close it then. What if we do that? And I'll do this on a couple of different ones here. Last time I've tried doing this, anytime I've tried doing this, it basically just gets rid of the text. So I don't think this is going to work. But it looked like that's how they were doing a couple of different ones that I saw in the code. So let's see what that does. Because I mean that I could just do a text replacement. I could care less. I'll add that to every single item. I don't give a shit. It's better than editing these stupid GUI code. It's going on 11.10 now. I also forgot to check the crafting menu, but that should be good to go. But yeah, I apologize, kind of drifted off there. So changing textures is technically possible. The problem that it requires is that it requires users to inject the textures themselves into the game, which can take a lot of skill, a lot of know-how to do that. And so because of that, it's kind of one of those things that I personally have not gone that route yet with the mod, just because they're like, I come from texturing and modeling and all that stuff. I would model and texture all day if I thought there was an easier way for people to actually enjoy that content. The only other option is to release texture packs, which include all of the textures of the entire game, and I'm pretty sure Techland would have problems with that. So I guess I could ask permission. So let's see, we need the flamethrower that's in my inventory. Didn't work, but it didn't get rid of it either. That's probably the first time I've ever actually used the ampersands and it hasn't removed the name. Also, it looks like it's applying the size difference on the name. It looks like it's applying it to these, but not the others. I'm trying to tell. Maybe it's not. No, it's probably just the length is throwing that off. Yeah, it is. Okay. The crafting menu's not enough. I was hoping that was enough to get it all the way on there, but I have to go one more. So crafting menu needs to go over one more, not a problem. So part. And that is going to be. Now I thought. $14.96 in the wrong spot. Yep. I have to go back up to 8. I think that's what they've kind of tried with their map creator pros and cons list there. But it is what it is as far as that goes. I think I'm going to have to give up on the name capitalization if I'm going to get this update out. Still just eludes me. I thought I was close there, and I might stumble upon it here in the next couple of days, but I definitely don't want to hold off doing this update just because I'm trying to get this added. It's a really dumb one though. Just killing time sitting here trying to play with their stupid menus. Trying to think, what's the last? So there was the banner. There's the banner, which is using image components. It's not using image components, text components. I actually don't see the text. Where's text? Text components. And it's actually using a lot of things there. Text value bottom. So I guess one of the things I could do here is also just steal the banner code. Because why not? Text value top, center, multi-line, font size, trimmed, drop shadow, outline. I don't think any of that. Trimming mode is animate, so it scrolls. Maybe it references this exact UE. It does. Text value explicit. Set W string. Set W string value. No, that's just where it's setting the text. Text small. Well, it's kind of I mean, I appreciate Toast. It's the lack of not being able to get the stupid capitalization going that drives me nuts. Because at this point, I'd say at least 20 some people have come into the Discord to just fix the capitalization. It's like, go ahead. By all means, please let me know if you get it fixed. So they have multi-line off. Well, I guess while I'm here, I'm using the banner code. Main menu common. So might as well make that multi-line, because whoever didn't make that multi-line is dumb. So no offense, Techland. So if we go here, copy, go here, paste. And then anywhere it says multi-line in general, across the entire stupid GUI, I'm probably gonna find it and turn it on. Unless they just have some way of, or some reason that they're not, but I'm not seeing a specific thing that they're setting to capitalize the text. I was really hoping that I would find something in here that would pull the values, but it's got to be some way. So that, I mean, this is the display, but it's actually the parsing that is what is doing the actual heavy lifting. And so that's not here, that's somewhere up above. So that one doesn't have a reference. This one did. So this is going and getting a symbol. This is getting the text component. So whatever this is doing is somehow taking that string and setting it proper. So maybe what I need to do is take this reference and let's go back over to the inventory system and say search, and maybe there's some way if we go to name, and I don't think I truly looked under this one yet. So action int to string has a value here, action into string. So here is the name text set string. So how about this? What if it's as stupid as set w string versus set string? How many other instances of w string do we find? Lots. And how many instances of set string do we find? Half the map, or half the thing. So I wonder if this is like some outdated, like maybe they updated the way that they were parsing the strings. There's no way that would work. I'm gonna be mad if this works, y'all. So name, text, GUI component, text value. I mean, all of that. Source node is this one, and then it also has this value action in the string. I saw some earlier that it basically had no value in there, so I think I'm going to try two things. First is we're going to try to set that to w string and see if that worked. And if that doesn't work, I'm also going to drop these m's off the names there. If this doesn't work, then I'm going to go in and remove that value and see if it breaks everything. I mean, eventually we're just going to have to start breaking some stuff to build it back, because whatever they're doing to parse it, I mean, I really was hoping it got in there and it was like, capitalize all letters or some nonsense. Then you'd wonder, why the hell is that not turned on always? So right now, Papa, there is an event going on, the anniversary, which it is currently disabling the new content. So currently, if you want all the new content provided by the mod, and also to fix some of the bugs that are in the mod right now because of the event, you just have to switch to offline mode. And you do that by going to Steam and setting Steam to offline and then launching the game, and it will disable the event. Somebody mentioned the other day that you could disable Steam, launch online, go back online on Steam, and still play co-op without the event, but I don't know if that's true or not. No, no luck. So what about the stats? Are the stats being set? So is the text for the stats being set by the same thing or not? Cancel. Not sure what happened here. So if we go in here to say stats, and then up here we have the same thing. I mean, yeah, next we're gonna, so let's go back up everything we got sitting here. And then let's go get rid of that value. And Collabs has data. So maybe it's one of these, so GUI inventory data. So is one of these like, if it's going in and it's pinging, if it's entered into their system, is there any way that it's like saying, if it doesn't have data, do this? So I need to find like the switch here with the result, because potentially it's going in and saying, if it's in our system, do this, not empty mods. Stats. Okay, so here's stats, get raw, vector, stats, GUI inventory, item data, get string, item description. So once again, here's where, I mean, I'm setting a string for the freaking stats as well. So why does the stats, I mean, the stats are getting pulled in through a different system. So it's getting raw, not empty. So these two things, the description and the title are both using get string. If we go over to the banner, they are doing a string for the image, but for the actual, for everything else, they're doing get W string. Text value explicit. Maybe there's some way that I can field inventory description. So that's it. Inventory item data. Yeah, sure, Toast. Basically, what you got to do is, I'll just tell you how to do it. For any item that you want gone, because there's a lot of them, I was trying to find a way to make that easier to where you could use a config to toggle them on and off, and I still can't believe the company has not done that. But if you look here, you have a whole section of co-op, so it's under the extracted files, GUI, HUD PC, and then underneath there, it's got a whole bunch of different co-op ones. And my guess is that, you would want to relieve the revive with the typo in there. And you would want to probably remove something like the health bar, or one of those specific ones. And what you're going to do is you basically just open them up with Notepad or whatever it is, say select all, and then just hit delete and save it, and then put it in the mod. So put it in I Am Legion at that exact same location, and it'll clear it out. I'm still looking for a more elegant way to do it. I mean, there's probably a better way that I can do it through the configs here, but as you can see, I'm having a blast playing around with this stuff. So get string, set string, source node. So it does have a source node ID 4. So maybe it's just the way it's pulling this data in. It's just completely different. So where is ID 4? So if we say ID find 4. So set, because I was in the wrong one. Set string, get string. So is this a set or a get? This is get string. So where's set string? Set string. And did I replace, when I went in there and changed that, did I replace set or get? Because this was, is it set string or set W string? It's neither, because it's broken. Why does it do this randomly? Set string. Set string doesn't exist. So it's getting the data, so we say get string, get W string, get, okay, I've lost all my strings. All right, what are we doing here? Name, am I in the wrong one? Oh, I'm in the wrong one. Delightful. Set string. All right, so if we go over here, we have get W string, set W string, which is text value explicit. And then over here, we have get and set. So where's our get string? We have get string, set string, and we have text value. Maybe it is set text value explicit. Because here it's set value. What if it's just set value explicit? Because then what it would do is it would pick up the capitalization that's in the description and it would set exactly that. But I wonder if that's going to break anything that is already in there. So that's for the description. So, and then I'm going to set this to W string. And we say set string. So let's do the same here. Set W string. And let's do that. Let's just see what we get here. I don't think I've actually confirmed that this is the appropriate one yet. So that's the other problems. I don't think I've actually confirmed that this is the appropriate string. Hey Robert, do you have some examples of which ones are undroppable? You have to literally set that in the inventory, and it's not that hard to do. So I'd be happy to I'd be happy to add that. Definitely running out of time now though. So still gotta release this sucker. And I gotta do my little recording and my video summary and all that good stuff. So I might have to wrap this up. But yeah, Robert, can you send over a specific example? Are we talking armor? Are we talking weapons? I know the legendary tier weapons. The other day I was testing. I feel like there were legendary tier weapons I couldn't drop. Or maybe that was armor. Made no sense. So nothing has changed still. So there might be a chance here that I've got the wrong one in general, but I think I'm onto something with the set text explicit. The interesting part is I believe these are two separate widgets. If you look here at the 4 that's showing up there in the corner, this is actually not the same. So what's the best thing I can do here? Because I need to find this. Because there's no guarantee that I'm working on the right one. And if I find the right one, interesting. It's like a couple of them still have the bug. Mass and armor. Are those legendary tier mass and armor, or are those just regular? Basically, we just need to go in here and say drop can drop. Yeah, so I'll just go ahead and make that change in here, and we'll just tack that on. But I think I may have a way forward with some of the GUI here. I just don't think I have enough time to finish it, so I'm gonna have to come back and finish that thought later. Attempted to fix lowercase bullshit. Alright. It's the great thing about having your own repo. Nobody can complain about my notes. Let's see. True. That's 53 objects right there. And then basically, because there's hundreds here, I think the problem is that they have essentially gone through and set this up. So let's do this one. This is now my new favorite thing, because if I had known how to do this when I was younger, I would have just lost my damn mind. So many homework projects that I would have used this with, but it's also not allowed in the shops for whatever reason. I'm also going to set that to true. Oh, it's because I've got the price set to 0. Well, I gotta go price all these damn things. I'm gonna do that. So this is what I learned the other day. We're going to go say game version. And we're going to select every single one. I'm just going to take a second. There's got to be like a select all. There has to be. Selection. Maybe it's like Control Shift D. No. Definitely not. Well. Let's not lose my place here. It's not worth starting over. And then I need to go, I just messed up my copy here. We're then going to go and say can drop. And we're going to go and say Control L. No. It's Control Shift L. And then say home. And then say paste. Thousand of them. And then we're gonna have to go under the ones that there's doubles and basically say replace and just remove one of them. Like that. So that technically makes every single armor be dropped. Masks and armor. I think that should cover it. Makes all armor be able to be dropped. Okay. It's a little thing, but hopefully that goes a long way. I know that would drive me nuts. Let me see here if there's one under, if we go to scripts, inventory, and then chapters, and then yeah, so these weapons can't be dropped either. It's annoying. All of the specialty ones. Let's go here and say that. And then last but not least, I guess it's going to be under inventory gen. Yeah, they really do have a whole thing about not being able to drop weapons. Can drop. I know you can drop these other ones, so I'm not sure I entirely believe it when it says it can't. Maybe it's under weapon definitions. No? Maybe they have some kind of flag somewhere that says it's a weapon, you can drop it. I don't know. But that should make it to where you can drop your weapons. Okay, so I think there's that, and then there's the PK aggression. Let's take a look at that just really quickly. I'm running out of time here. Now, I know people have mentioned that one before. Along with not being able to sell items on hard difficulty, there's little things in the game like that that just don't quite make sense to me, so I feel you. So this should be able to make it to where you can drop all weapons. I will try to switch to a game that has actual weapons that normally can't be dropped. I think I have a save game on here that's like that. So what I'm trying to test is PK aggression.
Some cowboy you are. Courting on a
An intruder! I need backup!
An intruder. I think it's sad that they didn't even have like some basic sounds for the PK or wandering around the wastelands. Like, why did they go straight to an intruder? Why is their audio pretty much bound around somebody getting in the base?
I
All right.
see you! You can't escape!
So it's definitely the encounter people, and it's definitely so far the injured.
Quit dancing around!
Love it.
Cat!
Slowly, slowly down. Slowly, slowly down. Let's make sure they're loot and everything. Oh, yikes. What in the actual... Interesting. Alright, didn't know that would happen. I knew about the gore, I didn't expect the hair being like that.
Ready, asshole!
So, I need to first delete, we're gonna go kill all custom human AI. So, it's a lot of files, and then we're gonna have to kill the human AI logic, also a lot of files. And now let's launch. Maybe it's where I put their conflict side. Maybe, you know, before they didn't have a conflict side. And I specifically scripted them with a conflict side that maybe the conflict side is broken or some shit. but maybe it's from where I've given them one, because I do remember the other day that I had to give them a conflict side to begin with, which didn't make a lot of sense at the time. And let me review, because why are peacekeepers? No, they have a conflict side, PK. Because it's taking the generic one hand and it's converting it over.
We gotta start rationing water.
Can you believe this?
Add two and two together and see what you get.
Yeah, guys, add 2 and 2 together, see what you get. Is there some way in hell that it's causing like a spawn bug? And the spawn bug is causing the logic to get stuck? I know this guy rarely ever attacks me, so I'm not using him as an example. These guys always attack me for some reason.
What could that be?
Okay. So far so good. I mean, I did delete the entire human AI code, so...
You coming out to face us?
He's dead.
Or are you a coward?
But a biter didn't get him. Fellas, we're in danger. You see what I see?
What was that?
maybe.
We should take a look.
Nope.
Enemy spotted! Take him!
Okay. And then from there on out. Yep, everyone. Okay. So with all of the entire custom AI code deleted, the next step is going to be the conflict matrix, which that's already been deleted before and that didn't go away. So let's try it one more time. It's going on 12. Wanted to talk. You guys are over there and staying up till freaking 5 in the morning watching my stream. So. So what if I took the, I mean, it would break everything. Oh, okay. You're out on the west coast then, Rio? Um,
Area secured. Stand by.
Someone's sneaking up on them.
Can you believe this?
Just when I think I've seen everything, something new pops.
I feel like every time this has happened, it's also only it's only happening with the encounter zombie or the encounter PK. So
No threat identified here. Stand by. Anyone else see that?
Track that down.
You guys seen this?
I must be seeing things.
Think you're a ghost? Oh, I won't make you a ghost.
it's like the second time you round this place. Oh, and I guess I have the legendary tier weapons, so there you go. You can drop those. I guess you probably maybe could have always dropped those, but I'm not sure. Let's see here. I know these guys always get upset at me.
There, easy.
Does it hurt?
Like a motherfucker.
So I created custom classes. So there's the Colonel's Men. Trying to think what else is tied to the conflicts matrix. There's the zombies. Because this seems to have worked. But you can't just remove the conflict matrix by itself because the all of the code for the unique groups is tied to the conflict matrix, or at least not all of them, but at least some of them. I could potentially switch them over to PK. I mean, the Colonel's Men are so fewer than. No, there you go. What on earth?
You're in a hell of a lot of trouble.
I'm starting to feel like it's just like. I don't know if it's a vanilla bug or not, but it's like. It's gotta be something with the encounter. Okay, well, it's probably also gonna have to wait, because now it's midnight. Okay, let's see, so by the time I type up everything, ability, I guess I need to launch and test this out before I release this. Make sure I didn't break legendary tier weapons or some nonsense. Ability to drop all armor and weapons. It's a bold claim. We'll see if that holds. And let's see, for the bandit groups, jumping up and down, could probably go in there. And say like on New Game Plus that they show up more. I would need to go to the encounters and then basically go to the ones that are New Game Plus. Encounters, encounter settings, and then say World Burners and Wolves, and then go to like Bandit. So, oh, I was loading into a different save. Getting distracted. So, I need to go in here and say Bandits versus Bay. Street. Bandit Street. Bandit's Roof. And then say new game. Okay, so let's see what he has. Oh, got a QB. Not sure how old this save game is, but I can conclude that none of those can be dropped, which means there is another tier inventory that I'm not seeing. Now, I am in the stash, so I don't know if I'm actually able to drop from there. Yeah, okay. So from here, I can drop all of these. And then, except the one that's broken, of course. Fun. So I can drop all armors. Yeah. Okay. No idea if this is a New Game Plus or if this is a regular difficulty, but I would say New Game Plus. Jesus. So
Investigate that sound. I see something now to be seen.
probably just like give a shit. And also, I've been meaning to get to the demolishers. They definitely need a little love. They played a little animation instead of ragdoll when you hit them. I'll have to fix that. But okay, so concluded. You can drop all armor. And then, yeah, so for pretty much all of these different areas, especially the flooded, the world burners would make the most sense in the flood, to be honest. Special infected. So let's say like flooded. Alright, we threw them a couple of places. I'm going to have to come back to this. Let's see. Ability to drop all armor and weapons. And then add a world. Few additional counters. And then additionally, I need to test. We delete that and go and launch the game again. And then that should be it. Let's start merging. And so at this point, guys, so this has been a pretty long stream. At this point, I'm going to start doing my secret sauce of getting it all into the different difficulties and then getting that pushed out. And so we should have the new version here dropping shortly after record a little bit of documentation and get that out. But I look forward to you guys trying a new version. Sorry I got so thick in the weeds here, trying to crawl through. I think that capitalization bug really just appeared, just got me super focused in on trying to get that one. That's so annoying. And so, please keep me posted on this new version. Hopefully this fixes a lot of the bugs that you guys have been seeing in the game. Super excited to get this new content to you guys. Hope you guys enjoy, and I look forward to talking